Hello, free spirits. What are the Akashic Records and what can we do with this powerful information? For centuries, this information was kept secret, or at least in the circle of disciple and master or teacher. This information is very powerful. We can heal by accessing the Akashic Records. We can make modifications. We can know ourselves better, and we can explore our connection with consciousness, with our higher intelligence, our higher self. The word Akash means sky or space, and it comes from the Vedas. The Vedas is the main source of information in India, and from that it derives everything we know about the yogic sciences, rituals, mantras, and day-to-day cultural activities of Eastern philosophies and Eastern cultures, specifically South Asia. The Akashic Records is simply a way to try to explain this huge library of information that is accessible to everyone. Many centuries ago, this was reserved for the masters, teachers, and disciples, or a small circle of trusted devotees and spiritual aspirants. Of course, today this is still the same. We want to provide this information to people who are really serious practitioners who are going to respect certain guidelines that come with them. The Vedas explain the order of creation, and this makes total sense. First, there was space, and that's what Akash means. Nothing can exist if there is no space. From space, sound manifested, and the Vedas explain that God manifested itself as consciousness, as sound vibration for the first time through this Akash, or this space or ether. From this space and sound vibration, air came. Air was born into existence. When you sit in silence and meditation, you can hear this sound vibration that is in the universe and in cosmic intelligence. From air came fire, and from fire came water, and then earth was formed. So these are the 5 elements and the order of creation. So Akash is the most essential element. Without it, nothing can come into existence. Akashic Records, this immense library of information, occurs at the microcosmic level and the macrocosmic level. The micro level is at the individual dimension. At the individual level, we are constantly storing information into the Akash. It is called the causal body because is the cause of everything. When you have a physical illness or a mental illness, the source of the problem is in the causal body. So by accessing the Akashic Records, by accessing this space, we can connect with the first God manifestation, the consciousness. It is called the one consciousness by some spiritual teachers. Also Brahman in Hindu philosophy, or Atman, the universal soul. And this is intelligent in itself because it is the source of all creation. So you can imagine how much it is contained, how much information it is stored in the causal body. This diagram shows the 4 dimensions of our existence. In the center, we have consciousness. Consciousness is beyond Akash, beyond space. This is the source of everything primordial. This is what we call the God principle. This in itself contains the truth. Everything that spiritual seekers are looking for is contained in this center of consciousness, this unifying field, Brahman or God. Then the next circle outside is the causal body. This is what Akash represents. This is the cause of everything. The next circle, it is the subtle body. And the subtle body contains the nerves in our system, the nadis, as they are called in Hindu philosophy, the mind, thoughts, and emotions. The subtle body is the astral dimension. You cannot touch the nadis. These are energetic fields that go up and down and throughout the body. The chakras, the energy centers, are part of this subtle body, and they are also connected to the causal body. And the outermost layer is the gross body, and everybody knows the gross body is your physical body. The main purpose of accessing the Akashic Records is for healing, for self-knowledge, and for spiritual growth. Because this space or ether, the Akash, it is closest to the subtle dimensions of our existence, closest to consciousness. It contains the truth, it contains the undebatable truth, contains higher information about your higher self, the reason for everything, the explanation for existence, and for all the events that have happened and are happening at the individual level and at the cosmic level. Through this exploration, you can know what is your purpose in this life. You can know very great things that can help you grow in your spiritual journey. You can learn from past lives about your present abilities. If you were born with some skills since you were young and certain abilities, it is very likely that you develop these abilities in past lives. Also, if you have some obstacles in your life or somebody else's life, relationships, work, businesses, whatever it is, part of life, part of existence, we can access the Akashic Records and ask these profound existential questions. You have to come from a place of love with an open heart, and you have to be working for the benefit of your spiritual growth, for the benefit of someone else. It can be your client or a person you're trying to help, or the benefit of humanity or a group. This is the purpose that is taught in India and other cultures. The Mayans, for example, in southern Mexico and other indigenous populations, they accessed this same library or records of information. They didn't call it Akash, but they call it in the form of gods, which is the same principle. This information is stored continuously. It was stored since the beginning of time. You can call it the Big Bang or the creation, when everything started to happen from space to air, fire, water, and earth. From the moment that creation started to happen from nothingness, from this space, we started recording in this Akash, in this space. So we record information at the individual level, at our individual soul. Everything we do, our actions, our karma, is being recorded in the Akashic Records. Also, at the collective level, things are being recorded. This is something very powerful, very serious. I am affected by collective Akashic Records, and the collective is affected by my own individual Akash Records. And this is exactly the reason why in Hindu philosophy we learn that everything is oneness. We are all interconnected. This is what it means. And the collective, my community, my groups around me are affected by my own individual actions, by my own individual karma. The information in the Akashic Records is stored at the individual level in what we call the causal body. The subtle dimension at the collective level is called Hiranyagarbha. This is where everything is stored at the collective level. The short answer is yes, but the future can never be completely known. It is only a probability, a possibility. We can never be 100% sure about the future because the future is unknown. The future is not here. The only thing we have is the present. And this is another pillar of Hindu philosophy. There is really not concept of time in the Akash. There is only the here and the now. There is only the present. But in our physical existence, we use time and we refer to the future as something that may occur afterwards, not right now in the present. Even when this is an illusion, we can talk in terms of the future. But in India, the Akashic Records are not used to predict the future. We can use other tools to try to get a close approximation, a probability, a possibility of what could happen based on past events or present events. But there is something very important that interferes at every moment of our lives, and this is our free will and your free will. You have a free will to change your future right this second. I have a free will to change my present right this second. And my free will affects your future, and your free will affects my future. Again, we are seeing the principle of interconnectedness, this unifying principle throughout Hindu philosophy. Each of our souls has a life purpose or a life plan. Why do we say this? Because with each incarnation that you take and I take and we all take, we are learning and we are experiencing this incarnation to continue our own evolution. So in that sense, your life has a mission or a life plan. The main purpose for accessing the information in the Akash is to facilitate our soul's life plan. We have a responsibility to facilitate our soul's plan. By accessing the Akashic Records, we can ask existential questions and knowledge-based questions, connecting with this God principle, with higher consciousness, with the one unifying field. When we are doing a meditation practice or we are doing yoga and we are really concentrated and we feel these waves of love and positive energy coming in, is because we are connecting to consciousness. We are living in the present moment. We are feeling this unification with everything at the micro level and the macro level. That's all, friends. I hope this was very useful and helpful. As always, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.